Well, a big focus. US President Donald Trump has suspended military aid to Ukraine as per reports, sharply escalating pressure on Kyiv to agree to peace negotiations with Russia. Now, this move comes just days after that stunning public clash between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Donald Trump, who is seeking a rapid end to this current war. But this reported pause, including weapons in transit, and has left many wondering what this could mean for the embattled Ukrainian forces. But this freeze is actually more than just a strategic timeout. It is a harsh reminder of the fragile balance of power, where one misstep could tip the scales. But the big questions now remain: will Ukraine's leaders heed Trump's call, or will they find themselves standing alone on the front lines? This is a big deal because US military aid to Ukraine has stopped $60 billion since Russia invaded in 2022, thanks to the previous administration in the US. That has all rapidly changed overnight since Trump 2.0 took office. Donald Trump has suspended military aid to Ukraine, sharply escalating pressure on Ukraine to agree to peace negotiations with Russia. And as I mentioned, this move comes just days after that outrageous public clash between the Ukrainian president and the US president, who is seeking a rapid end to the war. The reported pause is said to include weapons in transit, and many analysts and geopolitical watchers are wondering what this could mean for the embattled Ukrainian forces, what this could mean for the future of Ukraine, and what this could mean for Zelensky's political future as well. My colleague Mohammad Ghazali has been tracking the finer details for us. He joins us live at the moment. Ghazali, any reaction from the White House yet? And what does this really mean for Ukraine and Zelensky?
See, for Zelensky and Ukraine, it means a big loss, because for the last 1 week since he met President Trump and his advances, and we saw the kind of exchange he had in the White House in front of J.D. Vance and President Trump. And after that, repeatedly, he did try to do some damage control by issuing statements that he wants to have support from the United States and he wants peace. But perhaps Mr. Trump was not convinced with his stance of not agreeing to whatever terms and conditions for peace which Mr. Trump and the United States were trying to put up. And in response to that, he went ahead to the summit in the United Kingdom, where other European leaders kept backing him that they will give him aid and they will provide him aid. But if you go through the figures of aid what Ukraine is getting in the last 3 years, it is around 10 to 12% of military aid, which United States is giving it to Ukraine, includes all the lethal weapons, though Europe and other Western nations are trying to replace it by increasing the aid for Ukraine. But most of the lethal weapons through which Ukraine has managed to sustain this war will not be getting delivered from the United States anymore. And perhaps even if UK or other countries, all those who participated in that summit day before yesterday, where they announced that they will increase the aid for Ukraine, even if they try to replace it, perhaps it will not be enough for Ukraine to sustain this war with those weapons, which is usually gets from United States. So it's a big setback, because even after having that verbal spat with Mr. Trump and J.D. Vance and other officials of the Trump administration on that particular day in Oval Office, now it appears that Mr. Trump is really upset with the way that exchange took place. And after this decision, perhaps it is a ploy from the United States to put more pressure on Zelensky and the Ukraine administration to ensure that they agree to the terms and conditions for peace. Else, more restrictions, more stringent steps may be taken by Mr. Trump.
Ghazali, as always, thanks so much for joining us with the lowdown. By the way, a statement by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky saying a deal to end the war with Russia was very far away did draw a furious response by Donald Trump. In fact, the US president said in a social media post that America will not put up with it for much longer, before accusing Zelensky of not wanting peace and before pausing all military aid. But Britain and France said they were working on a European-led solution to the war. But Donald Trump, meanwhile, paused all military aid to Ukraine just days after he had a disastrous Oval Office meeting with the Ukrainian president. In fact, France, Britain, and potentially other European countries have offered to send troops to Ukraine in the event of a ceasefire, but they say that they would want support from the United States, a proposal referred to as a backstop. By the way, France floated a proposal for a month-long initial truce that could pave the way for peace talks. European countries led by Britain and France are looking at options for a peace proposal, including Ukraine after last week's Oval Office rupture between Trump and Zelensky.